Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we're going to talk about our first Battle Bond deck. I'm talking about Mr. Grothama, Fight Me Bro, the All-Devouring. Now, he is absolutely, that's value. It's 5 mana for a 10-8. So, yeah, he does encourage every last creature to fight him, but, hence the Fight Me Bro. Battle Bond came out yesterday. I'm not exactly certain what time. I think you're going to be seeing this a couple days afterwards. But Battle Bond came out, opened my stuff. I got a Grothama. I had the deck like almost already built, minus a few cards, and played it on Friday night. I can tell you, we did not have. It wasn't a normal game, so you can't really base anything off of it. It was a 7 versus 1 commander plane chase archenemy. So, yeah, there was play dudes didn't have problem playing land. So what I did with him is it's hard to make. Well, it was hard for me to read those abilities and think actually something of it. So what I did was I was like, well, this is, a legendary worm. So let's do tribal worms. The thing about tribal worms is they are pricey. This is one of the most cheap ones. So let's go with... I just listed this on Tapped Out, so everything's in a stack. Let's go with some ramp. Okay. In Battle Bond, we'll start with the 2 Battle Bond cards. I'm sorry, it's not Battle Bond. I got it last night, but it's not Battle Bond. The Prismatic Lens, 2 for 1. That's not bad. Sky Shroud Claim being reprinted for the first time since, Nemesis. It's the first reprint ever. Proud to see it. Love that it's common. Got a bunch. Whew, I need this one. Moss Diamond, Search for Tomorrow, Nature's Lore. It's every kind of ramp I could think of. Harrow. I'm running the Hedron Archive. It's probably in there more for the card draw than it is for the ramp, Rampant Growth. Now, Clear the Land. Clear the Land I'm so on the fence about. Yeah, it hits everybody. Everybody's going to get lands, but we're playing not really a whole lot of lands. Like 39. I'm not sure. You'll have to see the deck list on there, but I don't know. It may or may not go. It may get cut for something, that big 15/15 worm that I didn't have. Eladamri's Vineyard. Now, it's really cool on turn 1. Actually, it's amazing on turn 1 because it lets you Sky Shroud Claim on turn 2. So, if, Magical Christmas Land and all. Cultivate. Far Wanderings. Now, there's really good chance. Like last night, I drew Far Wanderings. I had Threshold, but, the game was over by the time I got to my turn, so I didn't get to cast it. Hunting Wilds. Yeah. And then, now, Carpet of Flowers. Last night, I was wishing for a Carpet of... I was wishing I would draw this card. Because I looked around, and, blue's a really popular color. Islands are a thing. I think islands are one of the best 5 cards in the game. But it was... I could have gotten 9 or 10 mana every upkeep. Or, I'm sorry, every main phase. So... we have Journey to Discovery, Grow from the Ashes, and of course the trifecta here, Rites of Flourishing, Heartbeat of Spring, and Zendikar Resurgent, which is as much about drawing the cards as it is getting the mana. So, let's get into some worms. Oh, okay, y'all know these are typically pretty bad, right? They're worms. We have Tunneler Worm. If you ignore the casting cost, it's a decent card. But as much ramp as we have, might be decent. Yavimaya Worm. I'm actually proud to have this one foil because this was the first set to ever have foil. So, yeah. It's easy to get foils of crappy cards nobody wants. Jungle Worm. Yeah, terrible. I couldn't really do it without the Crawl Worm, and I had to use this picture. I had to use the revised one because this is one of those cards that you see in the early days when you started playing, or at least when I started playing. I'm like, this is what a Magic card looks like. Anyway, I don't have anything against the new board. I think it's cool, but every now and then you look back and you go, I remember those days. Cow Prowler, which is not every set. Grave Tiller Worm. You're probably not going to play it at all unless you've got the Morbid ability. I mean, it's just not happening. Nobody wants that 6 mana 4/4. Penumbra Worm, you know, it's 7 mana for a 6/6 trample, but you get another one on layaway, so it's all good. Pekla Worm. Pelaka Worm. My bad. Now, Tempting Worm is a great ambidastor. Or if that word is too hard, we can just say bait. Now, this is what I want to use in the early game to bait a board wipe. We don't have a whole lot of creatures. I mean, yes, they are big. But I want to get the board flooded to where one of the Wrath players, because there's going to be one, gets scared and blows it up. Now, granted, this is probably not a turn 2 problem. You don't want to do it on turn 2. You actually want to make sure somebody has board wipe mana available. Yeah, it's pretty easy to pick out the player, you know, oh, he's white or he's black or he's, well, any other deck but me, because, you know. But anyway, that's the reason why I'm playing with Tempting Worm. Is just, you know, let's flood it out. Root Breaker Worm. Intentionally didn't use the Tempest because I wanted the 9th edition because there's just not enough white border in this deck. Bellowing Tangle Worm. Giving your worms Intimidate is really cool. Most of them already have Trample. Elder Scale Worm. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, there's 7 instances of the number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including the power and toughness. There's 7 7s on here. It's beautiful. Soul Swallower. That's what. Never mind. 4 mana 3/3. Yeah, Delirium may be a little difficult. I mean, because it's not like, I don't know. We are running some of the cycle lands and junk. Havenwood Worm. Flash Trample. Engulfing Slag Worm. That's pretty good. I mean, it's going to kill it before the damn. Yeah, I like it. Roaring Slag Worm. Tap all the rocks, man. This is partially why we don't have a whole lot of rocks in here. Metamorphic Worm. Here again, Threshold. Carnage Worm. Dirt Cow Worm. Plated Worm's not bad here again if you can get past the, I mean, but still, 7 mana, 8/8. It does not have Trample. That's what makes me sad. But you know what? Scaled Worm doesn't have Trample either. It's just a big old body. Yeah, it feels a lot like cheating, I know. But I didn't have as many worms as I wanted or enough quality worms. Chameleon Colossus is a good quality worm. So it is a little cheaty face, but it's only one. Now, my last worm is Endless Worm. Endless Worm, really good. And the combo that we used way back then is still valid today. Now, granted, this is not the combo that I talk about, obviously, is it eats an enchantment every single turn. So you need an enchantment that's going to keep coming back, like the Rancor. I guess this would be a good time to move on into removal. Now, this is a reprint from Battle Bond. I don't remember where this card is from, because when I read it, it was like I read it for the first time. Artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. It's an instant. It does cost 4 mana. In this deck, not that big a deal. It's kind of a big mana thing anyway. I didn't use the growing rights or whatnot because we're not going to have a whole bunch of creatures. We're just going to have a few quality creatures, big dogs. Beast Within in Battle Bond. That's beautiful. Never have enough of those. Of course, Lignify. Broken Bond being removal and ramp. I mean, if you have the land, that's the. Of course, we have Wing Snare to pop 1 flyer and Whirlwind to pop all flyers. My Whirlwind got cast last night, actually, not by me. There was a turn 2 Academy Rector that died getting in that blue. Oh man, I went blank. The blue enchantment that says whenever somebody plays a spell, you reveal the top card of their library and you get to play it for the free. Yeah. I revealed Whirlwind. He was like, sweet, let's kill all them angels. Dang arch enemy. Arg. Naturalize, Desert Twister. Now, harmonize for a little bit of card draw. Speaking of card draw, Greater Good, also in Battle Bond. Beautiful card. Especially with really fat guys. I mean, if something happens to your Rancor and your Endless Worm's going to die anyway, this is a good way to do it. Or any of your creatures. In response to your board wipe, I'm going to draw just a ton of cards. Now, Worm Calling, I feel like it kind of had to be in there. I mean, it is not tribal per se, because they review that as a giant mistake and they won't do it again. Maybe I'm too dumb to know why, but I've listened to them why, and it doesn't, yeah, whatever. Tribal works. I love it. Tangle Sap, because, most of you dudes do have trample. Revive is just about a regrowth. It's not going to get your 2 rocks or any land, but, it's still good. Now, Steely Resolve, he's, of course, going to shut down that crazy removal. Man, I'm getting some glare right there, ain't it? It's a little better. Going to shut down some removal because we're straight up choosing worms. But Cream of the Crop had to make an appearance. I mean, we are talking about playing a creature and then topping for whatever that creature's power. It's beautiful. Beautiful. We have Overrun for, just in case we have some that don't have trample. And, typically you want to overrun with a field full, but even in this deck, if you can overrun with 3 dudes, which I had no problem having last night at any given time. I mean, I wasn't hurting for mana. I was constantly being able to play my cards because it happened the way it should happen. I got my opening hand was 4 lands and 3 ramps. And our last card is, of course, Trample the Hordes, because sometimes you just got to be able to deal 10. Well, that's what I've got for Grothama. I do appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.